This is a Thinkware dash cam, U1000 2-channel install on a Toyota Rav4. This is the main unit. Visual recorder. Comes with the instructions. This is the cigarette lighter port, power cord. This is if you're not going to hardwire the unit to the car. This is the hardwire kit. This is the rear camera. This is the polarizing filter for the front camera. This is to reduce the glare. Some wire clips. This is the rear camera cable. This is the mounting clip for the main unit. Extra 3M sticker. And a 32 gigabyte memory card. Starting off, I removed the weather strip, and then the A-pillar I pulled out that way to remove it and give me some room. And then if you notice inside, here's the side airbag. This whole thing is the airbag. So what I want to do is feed the wire behind the airbag so it doesn't impede the airbag coming deployed. Also, if you notice here, there is that black wire. I'm going to stick my finger behind here. And behind it is that pink tube. I think that pink tube is for the window washer that leads to the back windshield wiper. So I want to feed the wire, the camera wires, behind this black wire. And to make it easier for me, what I'm gonna do is stick a wire tie through here and then connect the wire. So if you notice, I put the wire tie behind this black cable, and it comes out through here, and then I'm going to tape the two cables onto this and then snake it through. So I just pulled the two wires behind the electric cable here and out through the top. What I have now done is applied the mounting sticker or the bracket onto the windshield. And what I did was, first, keeping in mind that the power charger or the power cord and the rear cord will plug in here. And you're gonna need enough room between this mirror casing and your unit So you don't want to mount this too much to the left. Make sure that you have enough space here. Also, if you look at the bracket, it slides from left to right when you're mounting. So again, when you're putting the sticker on, what I did was I just inserted into the slot without mounting it, so that I know that when I go to mount it, there's enough space to click in and lock it in position. Also, as I'm doing this, I want to make sure that the unit is in the position where I want it to, which is kind of aligned with this, as well as I tested it from the driver position, where visually it's not really in the way. Also, what I did was I connected the cigarette charge port with this, and then connected with the Thinkware app, and made sure that the camera angle and everything is the way I want it to. So this is a position where I wanted it, and now it's on. And now I can then route the cable in terms of the length all across here. So again, I fed the two wires first, but I haven't completed the install yet in terms of hiding the wire until I did this step first, so that I know exactly the amount of wire that I need. So I just finished pushing in the wires from the unit, coming across here, went in there, and then afterwards I just replaced the A-pillar here. And so now I'm going to feed the wire down this way and down through here. So I gotta remove this weather strip first. And also first I have to remove this trim, the floor trim. I believe this just kind of pops up. Yeah, so basically I just had to just grab under here and just pop it up, pop, 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 pop. Then you'll just see it's just in with these clips. And then to remove this piece here, there is a hand tightened nut right here that easily gets undone. So this piece here, kind of, I took it off. The only thing that was holding on to it was this clip that anchors here. So I just kind of grabbed here and then pulled it off. So I routed the cable down to this side here, and then I'm going to just zip tie here just to keep it together, and then feed it down this way. Feeding the wire down here, I came across here, and I need to undo this bolt here so that the wires can go underneath inside here. So I'm just gonna loosen this. This is a 10 millimeter bolt. I'm probably gonna ground it to this bolt as well. It looks like there's a separate factory grounding bolt here, but since I'm gonna remove this anyway, I'll just ground it to this bolt. Just as an FYI, behind this, there's also like a little anchor clip in here. So to make it easier, I don't know if you can see it, but anyway, you just have to pry this up a little in order to feed the cable behind that little clip. So now that I have the two cables kind of tucked away here, coming down, tucked it behind the dash piece here, and coming behind, I'm going to replace the weather strip back on. So I'm feeding the cable behind these two grounding cables. This is the grounding wire. I am just gonna put it right in here and then tighten this bolt. The fuse on this Toyota Rav4 looks like it's right underneath the OBD right there. So I'm going to remove this panel here first to get a better access to the fuse box. So this panel comes off after I unscrewed the bolt there and the screw here, and then there's these clips you just push in on both sides. It'll come out, and then if you open it up, it's held at the end over there. So basically you just have to wiggle it out and free it so that it kind of hangs down like this. So when you're putting it back in, this area has to go back in first, and then it snaps out. So now that I have this down, I'm trying to see how I can free this panel here so I can better access this. I might not be able to. Anyway, I'll take a look. I kind of can't figure out a way where I can loosen this plastic. I removed this trim part here. It just kind of clicks out. I'm thinking maybe it comes out all the way, but either way, I just don't see where this part is kind of bolted on. Maybe it's over here, but I'm going to try to do the install without it. I mean, the wire is going to fit through here, and then if you look underneath, it's going to go through here. This is the fuse box, so I'm going to just attempt to do this without removing this piece. There's 3 empty slots, 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna try to test if they are ACC, which is the accessory power, which only comes on when the car is on, or constant, where the power still flows without the car on. So I'm gonna see if either or the 3 have those, and if it does, then I'll use that to tap the dash cam too. I'm using one of these current testers. All I have to do is ground this to a metal piece. So I'll just clip it on there. And then I'm gonna tap around to see if they're alive or not. So if you notice, when I tap on this side, it lights up. But when I tap on this side, it doesn't light up. Tap on the left side, it lights up. So since it's lighting up, this is a constant power source. So I tested both this empty slot and this empty slot. One here, see, lights up. The right side, no. The left side lights up, which means that power is flowing through here. So I have to remember that later when I explain how I am inserting the fuse tap. Now this empty slot, even though I'm touching both ends, it doesn't light up. I'm hoping that's the ACC. I'll test it out once the car is on. So I was looking for an ACC outlet, and this open spot, when I tested it, was dead. Even the constant was off, the ACC didn't work. So then I was looking for this power outlet fuse, and it looked like there's two power outlet fuses. One is number 1 and one is number 2. However, when I went to test whether it's ACC or not, this one seemed to turn on, light up, even with the ignition off, which means this power outlet is actually a constant. And when I tested it with this one, it was off and only turned on when the ignition was on. So I'm going to connect tap the ACC to this power outlet. So this one is the other power outlet. But when I touch these, right now it's not lighting up, which means this is an ACC. This one up here, it lights up when I'm touching it, which means this is constant. So I can't connect the ACC to this power outlet. But this one doesn't light up when I'm touching the touch point. So I have to connect the ACC to this power outlet connection. If you look at the hardwire colors, for this one, the yellow is battery. This is for the constant. And then here is the ACC. So this will only turn on when the ignition is on. This is the mini fuse tap. Both of these are going to be connected to these wires. And in terms of the fuse, the original fuse goes in the lower slot, and the secondary fuse goes up top. So using a crimp tool, I connected one fuse tap to the ACC and another to the constant. Before you put the fuse taps in, you have to first figure out which way the power is flowing. I first removed this fuse here, which is going to be the ACC. But when I press on the left side, my fuse tester doesn't light up, the power tester. But now, when I press on the right side, it lights up, which means that the power is flowing in from the right side. Same thing with the ACC. if I press on the right side, nothing lights up. But if I press from the left side, it should light up. Yeah, it lights up. So this panel here, on the left, the power is flowing from the left side of the fuse. And the right column, the power is flowing from the right. This matters how you position your fuse tap. The way these fuse taps work is that you insert the original fuse that you removed into the bottom here, and then for the top slot you insert a fuse that's same or greater into the top slot. And the way the power flows is it's supposed to flow. Make sure that the power source, or the flow of power, goes from here to here, so that you're properly using the fuses for its function. I just plugged in the ACC power taps, and now when I click on the bottom one, it lights up. And then when I click on the tap for the top slot, this is the original, and this lights up. And then this is the tap, and then it lights up. And for this, I made sure that the power is flowing from this side to this side. So the ACC is now connected. For the constant, I made sure that the power inflow, as I tested it before, it comes from the left side of the column. So you have to insert the non-wiring end towards that side. And when I then go to test the power, it lights up. So now I know this is connected. The other way to test whether the power is connected properly is these come with a secondary fuse. So when you open it up, and this is the yellow is the constant. So when I click on it, it lights up, which means that the power is flowing. And then it goes through here, and then so the power should be flowing to the unit. When I click on the red, nothing happens. Alright, so which means that this power is off until the engine turns on. So this connection is good. As a final step in the wiring, I just wire tied these wires together, and just gonna hold them here and then put the covers back on. For the rear cable, I actually like to feed the wire down through the floor panel, through the trim, coming out this end. I took out this the floorboard trim as well. This just kind of pops up, and I'm gonna route it through here, up through here, and then up through here, and then through. pull the rest of the cord out this way so there's no slack in the front. Great, so now I can just replace this panel here and move to the back. By the way, it looked like there's already a natural cable clip right here. So I'm just going to insert the cable right into it. So here's the back seat, the channel. If you remove the weather strip, I'm going to guide the cable through here and then follow it up this channel. So I'm feeding the cable through here, and if you kind of pry it a little bit open, I'm just following the route of the factory cables here and through there. So I just fed the wire through this channel here, behind this bracket, up through here, again behind this bracket, and then tucked away the wire from the top, and then just inserted the cable using this tool all the way to the back right now. So the cable, again, just ran through the top liner here, and then it ends up right here. So now what I'm going to do is remove this weather strip, remove this gasket, and we'll look to route the cable through here. I got to remove this too. Removing the weather strip, I just moved the cable up through the headliner. You see there's a lot of room in here. And then it's going to open up to that. Maybe I'll remove this clip here too. So I just removed this gasket here. I was trying to pull this gasket out, and it looks like somehow they actually taped here. So I'm gonna have to carefully try to get the wire through there. So I was trying to figure out a way to snake something through this gasket. This is basically the hardest part of the install, trying to get this stupid cable in through this tight opening there, and then routing the cable through here. I know some videos they use clothes hangers. Last time I did this on a different car, I think I used a really stiff plastic, but I couldn't find it. And I didn't want to use a clothes hanger because sometimes it ends up potentially tearing or making a hole in the gasket, which I didn't want to do. So thinking about something that was kind of flexible and rigid, I found a cable. This the Cat, I forgot what it is, Cat 5 or Cat 6 cable that I had lying around, that I thought it was rigid enough, flexible enough, And so, yeah, it worked. So I inserted this and kind of carefully guided through here. And now it's on the other side. So now what I have to do is tape the end of the wire to this and just snake it through. Okay, so now I was able to snake this. Through this grommet here and out. So now I can work on this part. Okay, so I popped out this trim, this back plate trim. It's basically held on by these four little tabs. And so now I'm gonna guide the cable through here and come out this side here. Okay, so I mounted the camera and then basically put the trim piece back on, remove the slack in the gasket, and then put the gaskets back on. And now I just have about, this much of cable left, and I zip tied it together, and I'm just gonna shove it in here. So the camera is now installed. By the way, make sure that when you're putting this on, especially for this one, you turn it on before you mount to make sure that the video is right side up. If you install it the other way, then you're going to have an upside down picture. So this is all back in. The weather stripping is all in. And then the install is finished.